Joseph, Brandon, Joseph. Pleasure to be speaking with you both. Joseph, I'll start with the two-parter. First, how are you? And second, does anyone get to call you Joe, or are you Joseph universally to everybody?
Gosh, I'm doing really great, and generally people do not call me Joe. Some people do, and I just don't have the heart to break it to them that I'm a Joseph.
Yeah, you're not really, yeah.
I'm not a simple guy. I'm not a Joe. But my crew members, I don't know why this happens. They call me JK.
Oops.
Yeah,
But I
Oh,
I'm
mean, it's a little weird, but it happens all the time. And okay, so
I'm
JK's on
not going to
set.
do that. We're going to
Yeah.
keep it with Joseph. So, Joseph, big fan of your work for decades. There's very few people who could direct Widowmaker and Janet Jackson within a couple of years with each other, like yourself. Now, was Torque the first full feature film that you directed?
It was trial by fire because I'd been just doing music videos and it was a pretty quick projection because great call on Widowmaker, by the way. No one knows about that one. I think I started really professionally directing around 93 and then 2002, 9 years later, I was doing a giant, Warner Brothers feature film. That was a pretty, well, I guess some people go into feature films pretty fast. So maybe 10 years was a lot of hustle and I mean, that was hundreds of videos by then. So I don't know. Maybe.
Hundreds. And next time I speak with you, we'll talk about the biohazard and the Widowmaker, etc. But one more
Wow.
music question before I throw it over to Brandon, and that's you also have interesting people scoring the film by means of Brain and Melissa. When in the process did they come into the film and the production?
They came in on detention, which is whatever how many years ago that was. And yeah, Melissa is in Guns N' Roses, and Brain was in Primus, and
Yeah.
yeah, they definitely have more of a rock pop sensibility, and I love applying that sort of tune making feel to movie scores. And this score specifically, we really stretch the limits because it's a full on John Williams style, Alan Silvestri, James Horner style score,
Sure.
and
that is one of the things I noticed. Also, I forgot to mention when we saw it the other night in Houston that I really liked all of the new music, the instrumental and stuff that was in there.
yeah, it's a full-on orchestral
Yeah,
score. And that was
beautiful.
actually a great learning process for both Melissa Brain and myself.
Sure. So over to Brandon right here. When you're playing a character like Hank, do you go into the prep mode where you go, I have to learn what a science teacher would do? Or is it just all in the script and Joseph co-wrote an excellent script and that's that?
I mean, the script is excellent. You get what you need to out of it. I think that uh, for the level of science that's involved and the amount of time that Hank is a science teacher, that was not necessary. Plus, my mom's a teacher and I was in school and I know these things. And I played a guy who knew a lot of science and had a bunch of PhDs for a couple of years in Ray Palmer. So I got that cred.
Yeah.
Um, but I think it's kind of adding all that up and just throwing it out the door in a way because Hank is stuck in his kind of teenage voice, fed up with the world and blaming everyone else still for his situation in life. And it's not until the ick kind of starts to make a mess of things that he starts to reanimate actually.
And not a lot of prep either needed for the high school football hero angle of your character.
Well, I see you reading the script and you read these things and it's like, oh, it's going to go by fast. And there was no check about, whether Brandon was fit to throw a football necessarily. Thankfully, growing up in Iowa and being a Iowa Hawkeye fan
Mhm.
all my life, I enjoyed throwing the football around. So it was a real cool thrill actually, and I got to check that off my kind of
And
bucket list of Hollywood things.
there's a shot in the film where Brandon, the character, is supposed to throw that ball 50 yards pretty accurately down the football field. And Brandon, I don't know if he channeled Iowa or he just channeled Superman or he channeled, just he had to do it as an actor. He did it. It was pretty awesome to watch.
Sure.
You
And
know, thank you. It's kind of like being in the zone. I mean, it's like acting. You can believe it, even if you don't have the skills sometimes.
I believe it. And Joseph, the film premiered at Toronto last year. The cut that screened there, is that what we are seeing identically in the theaters, or did it change at all?
Oh no, it's changed a lot since Toronto. Toronto was a kind of a rough draft of it. It's
Mhm.
still, I think people that love the movie would still identify that movie and go, it's still great. In fact, on a certain level, it's a bit more intensely Joseph Kahn.
I love that movie also.
Yeah, but since then, like obviously like the visual effects have improved, the sound mix has improved, and it's just it's actually our film now is 4 minutes slower. Like the version that was in Toronto was actually faster. So I added 4 minutes back into the movie. And, the pacing it's kind of paced a little bit more for the general audience. The first one was my thrash metal version.
Thrash metal version. Interesting. So the follow-up question, which I'll ask both of you before I let you go, Joseph, are we allowed to know what's next from you, or is this like Ick is the last thing you'll ever do, and that's the swan song?
Oh God, no. I hope not. No,
Please no.
what I'm putting out in the universe is that Joseph Kahn wants to make a studio movie. So I'm literally speaking to every little executive or every big executive and
Hmm.
saying, "Let's go play. I want to go play with you. Open up your vault and see what toys you have, and I want to play with your toys." That's what I'm putting out in the universe.
And if that didn't happen, hey, just go back to being one of the music video guys ever. Brandon, are we allowed to know what's next, or do we just have to keep following you on Instagram and then the embargoes lift when they can?
Oh yeah, I mean, yes, big news coming soon, manifesting right now in all of the ick. But no, I mean, ick is the biggest thing that should be talking about, other than just good time to be in the movies.
Well, I'm gonna say congratulations to you both on the ick and looking forward to those future projects. But in the meantime, hey, only 2 decades of stuff to look at from you, Brandon, and 3 decades of stuff from you, Joseph. So thanks for that as well, putting that into the world.
Thanks,
Thank
Darren.
you.
And thank you for knowing about all my early videos. That's pretty nuts.
Next time we're gonna talk Widowmaker, Biohazard, Onyx, Monster Magnet, etc. But for now,
Wow.
congrats on the ick.
Okay. Thank you, man.
Paltrocast.